Hello, squirrel friends. Welcome back to another Tuesday book review with me, Mondo, and eye makeup. Today we're going to be using some fun things. So I just got this mini The Berries palette from Juvia's place. Pretty, huh? So we're using that and the Masquerade palette. Now that's pretty stuff, right? And then we're gonna be talking about one of the scariest books since it's Halloween season. We're gonna start talking about some spooky books that I love so much. So one of the spookiest books that I have ever read, I know people are gonna disagree with that and say, oh, what about Stephen King? Shut up. Stephen King's not that scary, I don't think. But the scariest book to me is The Laughing Corpse by Laurel K. Hamilton, the second book in the Anita Blake series. Can you imagine if I did that makeup? I would look dead. I think that's the point. It also has, she did a graphic novel series of them, which is really fun. So you get to see what some of the characters look like, and I enjoy that quite a bit. So if you haven't, this is the second book in the Anita Blake series, so if you haven't watched my book review on the first one, Guilty Pleasures, I will link that in the comments below, and I'll try to do that little card thing where you can click on it. But watch that after this one. It's very short because I was learning how to do all this stuff. Anyway, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so we come into this book as with Anita, and Anita is going to this very ritzy place, this big huge mansion, to meet a new client, Harold Gaynor, who will play a huge role in this book. He is very rich and he is wheelchair bound. He's spooky in itself because he wants Anita to kill the white goat, which is human sacrifice. And Anita says no, and then he's like, well, I'll give you extra money, and she's like, no. And then her boss is just about dying over this because he just loves money and he doesn't understand what's going on. He's like, I don't understand what the white goat thing is. And she's like, oh, just shut up. So Harold Gaynor comes into this book quite a bit, back and forth. He's one of the main antagonists of this book. But the main, there's a couple ones in this one. So the main one is some monster. So Anita works with the police division of St. Louis, the Spook Squad, or the Preternatural Investigation Squad, with Officer Rudolph. Gosh, I can't remember his name for a second. Oh my god. Anyway, she works with them. They hire her as an independent contractor to come help them kill some of the, or investigate some of the crimes that have happened that have a preternatural basis. So Anita gets called out to this one because something's going wrong. There have been single family dwellings that have been attacked. And when she goes to this first one, it is a mess. So somebody broke in through the sliding glass door, but did not leave any blood. Like, they broke through that glass. And can you imagine breaking through that glass? If you have not had a sliding glass door, you're weird, first of all. And, no, I'm sorry. But if you have, you know what a sliding glass doors are and how thick of glass that is. Can you imagine smashing through that? Well, this thing has smashed through them and has massacred this whole family. And the grossest part is that he took the creature, well, I say he, but I don't even know, we don't even know it's a he, has taken the little boy and killed the family. But there's like, they see that there is basically no bodies left because he's torn these bodies apart. I mean, like, apart. There's like bits and pieces of them everywhere. And the creepiest part of this whole murder scene is, and her boss is so mean about this. Like, the sergeant she works for, he's like, you need to come look at this other room. And she's like, why? And he's like, it's worse. It's the worst room. And she's like, well, I've just seen like a woman torn apart. I've seen a man torn apart. What could be worse than that? He's like, this is worse. And she's like, well. So she goes in there, and then the only thing that's in there is a bloody teddy bear. Oh my God. And then she realizes why it's so terrible is because the little boy has been taken. The monster has taken this little boy. So whatever smashed through, and she thinks it has to be something dead because there was no blood left behind. So she's investigating this murder, but at the same time, we go back from the first book, and she is investigating Dominga Salvador in the connection to one of her friends' murder. Because she has the Grigri from him. Because if you read the first book, which you should go read the first book first. That first book is terrifying as well, but the second one really got me. Because I'm a little chickeny of like the dead and zombies, and that terrifies me a lot. But she gets that Grigri, and she's like, something's up with Dominga Salvador. So she takes the Grigri over there with one of her other necromancer friends. Colleagues is more what I should say. She said she dated him for a little bit. He's like he looks like a villain in a horror novel, in a horror movie. Like that beautiful, like, handsome man that's the bad guy. But he goes with her. And then, the Grigri like starts grabbing, because it's made out of finger bones, and it starts crawling toward Dominga. Ooh. And then she's like, I don't know what that is. That's not mine. I don't know what it is. In front of the cops and everything. And she's like, I think you do. And then he's like, well, I'll take it if you don't want it. And then she's like, no, it's mine. So she snatches it from him. And then she does something horrible from what he says, that she absorbs it. And it is like, okay, that sounds like something normal, right? And then he's like, no. She should not be able to just do that without ritual. She should not be able to just absorb back part of her power like that. It should take some real effort and a ritual to get herself to do that. And she's like, well, oh shit. God damn, I was already scared of this woman now. Now I got more to be scared of her about? Oh my God. Anyway, Dominga is another one of the big bad guys in this book series. Dominga is quite scary. She is probably supposed to be the most powerful voodoo practitioner in the United States. But she has also like agreed to help Anita. I know this is so strange. She's agreed to also help Anita find the murderer. Why she would do that? That's kind of strange, don't you think? That this big bad lady would be agreeing to do stuff to a woman that keeps threatening her. But the reason she agrees is mostly that she wants Anita to join with her in a zombie enterprise, raising a bunch of zombies and doing something to them, which I won't tell you, doing something to them to make them not rot, and then selling them. No, why do you think they want to sell them? Gross. Then she tells her, I already have a buyer for some of mine. The fuck? So, this book is terrifying. Some of the murder scenes are just horrible. Oh my God, they scare me. They scared me. So, Anita's on the case for this one. She figures out that it has to be some kind of dead thing. But she's like, well, where did it come from? How did it happen? Somebody had to be really powerful to me in order to do this. And then they wouldn't just let it go, would they? She goes, that's wrong. You shouldn't just let something go like this. Really, Anita? Not everybody has your morals. But as she's doing this, she also has to find this creature. Do you think she's gonna find him? Do you think she's gonna find him before him? Keep saying him. Do you think she's gonna find this creature before it gets her or kills more people? Ooh, kills more people. But this book had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I've read this book. I have the book and I have the audiobook, so I've read it quite a few times and listened to it quite a bit too, because I really enjoy this series. But Anita is constantly trying to walk this line. And I love some of the humor that comes along in this book, what Laurel K. Hamilton throws in, because during all this, she's supposed to be part of her best friend's wedding, and I'm assuming you read the first book. Anita has all these scars. Like, she has a huge scar on her collarbone where a vampire attacked her and messed her up. And then she has scars all over her arms from bullet wounds and cuts and all this stuff. This poor woman, oh my god. She's been through the ringer for like, I don't think she's probably in her early 20s. I think at this point she's in her early 20s. But she's just been through it and has all these scars. And then through this, she's supposed to be in her best friend's wedding. She has to wear this pink monstrosity, and the lady that owns the bridal boutique is trying to find her best to like cover up the collarbone scars. So she makes this huge corsage that's supposed to cover it, and it's like this big. And poor Anita's like, I'm not wearing that. She's like, and then she sees the defeat in the lady's face, and she's like, oh, I guess so. That's like the comedy relief of this whole book, is like that journey of her trying to go through and like be in this wedding while all this like murder's going on, and then somebody after her, and then Gainer's after her, and he wants her to raise a zombie, and then the stories kind of collide. So you kind of like figure out that there's this interweaving part of all of this happening. But yeah, I just love this book. I loved the Anita Blake series when forever. I've loved them. I read them multiple times. This is one of my good ones for Halloween. Like, if you want a good one for Halloween to scare the crap out of you, this is a good one. The first two books are terrifying. If you watched my top 10 scariest book, this is my number one. Okay, I'm gonna put on my eyeliner. Right back. Okay, so the reason I like this book so much is because it has like a good mix of a murder mystery, but then it's preternatural. So there's something not human after these people. And that's kind of more terrifying, but then it's like a little bit safe at the same time, because you're like, that's never gonna really happen to me. Are you sure? But that's what I like about these so much, is that you never really know what the monster's gonna be in this stuff. Like, you don't know, like, is it a zombie? Is it a person? Is it both? And a lot of times it turns out to be both, because there's some kind of like master along with this, and then the creature. But I really like this book because it gets really into it gets more into like the backstory of voodoo, and then you realize how this is the first book, the second book of the series, but this is the first book that you start realizing how powerful Anita is. And Anita is super powerful. She's so cool. I just love Anita. She's so fun. Well, until like the 11th book, then you just kind of give up on it. Sorry. Just saying. But I love these books. I thought they were so spooky and scary, and I read them multiple times. I still get scared because I know what's gonna happen. I know what happens at the end of the book, but it's still terrifying to read them. So that's like, I think the quality of like a really good horror novel is when you still want to read it and it still scares you, even though you know what's gonna happen. And I love them. I love these books so much. I've read these first two quite a few times. Like probably 6 or 7 times I've read them and listened to them. But I love them. I recommend them and I give them to people all the time. I think they're so fun. Anita's just such a smart ass, powerful woman that it's just so fun to listen to her talk about her life and live her life and be. And it's fun to like kind of go back in time because it's based in like the 90s where like Anita doesn't really have like a cell phone. She has to stop at payphones and stuff like that. She has a pager still and she's a little bit old school and she doesn't want to really go with the times, and except for she doesn't like killing with a stake. She says that's old school. You need to kill with the shotgun. I know, that's so weird. But I really enjoyed these books, so I hope you guys go out and get them. They're still readily available. You can get the paperback quite frequently, and if you search hard enough, I have this one at my Barnes & Noble, this version with this beautiful cover, if you want to come get it at the Bellingham Barnes & Noble. But this one, I've had this one for a long time, probably like 14-15 years. Let's see. This was published in '94, and this edition was in 2005. So I've had this for 15, almost 16 years. It's traveled with me so many places. Colorado, Georgia, Spokane, all over the place. So I've read these books quite a few times because I was like 21 when these books came out, something like that. So I hope you guys get it. If you read them, what'd you think? Was it scary to you? I think so. I think you'll find it quite terrifying. It's good for this time of season. And then I did this pretty fall-ish look because I like the wine color, and then the gold is really pretty. Has anybody tried the looks? Anybody want to post a picture of themselves trying some of my looks? As always, guys, I hope you guys are being safe out there and wearing your masks in the right spot. Not here, right here, right here. Covering your whole damn face. Wash your mask too. It's gross to wear your mask more than one day in a row. Wash your hands. Be nice to people. I've noticed a little bit of an uptick of people not being very nice. And I know like a lot of things with like our politics and stuff is disheartening. But get out there and vote. Do the right thing. Help each other. Okay, guys. I hope you're having a great time. Hope you're enjoying this morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night. Go get some Juvia's Place stuff. They're really good. It's cheap too. It's cheap and it's really pretty and pigmented. Although some of the pinks do stain like everybody else's. That's why I kind of looked half sick when we started this video. But yeah, so have fun out there. I will be posting more and getting more Halloween-y with the looks as we get closer to Halloween, and then we'll go to a massive one that I'm going to try to remake from a couple years ago when I tried it before I had even started doing makeup. So I'm gonna try to do that look for you guys for the week of Halloween. I love you guys. If you enjoy what you're watching, subscribe. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a good evening. Bye, guys.